Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Babs Life podcast with our guest today, Joe DeLisandro. Ooh, I nailed it too. I've been practicing off camera for a minute there while we had technical difficulties, so I had to get it going.
Nailed it.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Before we jump into things, quick message for those that are listening. As you guys know, the theme of the podcast is live yourself for every day. Now, in the past episodes, we used to ask that question at the end of the podcast toward the last 30 minutes and get to know Joe the first 30 minutes. We are reversing that now. We're trying out a new format. So we're going to be asking that right up front, that question everybody wants to know. So, Joe, because it's your first time on the podcast, we only ask it because it's your first time on, but how do you live yourself for every day?
I live myself every day, or how do I live myself every day is basically by doing the things that fuel me. So I found out that fueling me was either art or impacting other creators through helping them, build their personal brand. So if I can stream together as many calls, be able to go wherever I want, take the calls when I want to, that's how I kind of live myself every day. And then I tether those days together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that. I think that's so important once you find your passion. The question I have when we dive into that a bit more is, what did it take for you to find that fuel? Because so many people, myself included at times, have been lost down the path, or just it's hard for us to figure out what that is. I mean, I kind of wandered aimlessly until I was like, I love podcasts too. And now here I am loving it and doing it as much as I can. So curious, how did you find that fuel?
I think it was caused by a few existential crises. uh, Sales jobs going to shit, I guess, and just really internal journaling and trying to figure out who I
Yeah.
really was, what I wanted to do. And it came through pain. It came through me wanting to be a well-known artist or someone who was making an impact on their life through art. And at the beginning, it started off, I wanted to be an animator, and I was like aimlessly going as to college for as an animator for like 10 years. And I didn't really Google much about salaries. I just knew it came along with the salary. So it kind of, in my mind, screamed like a scarcity mindset. And I think through finding that, what fueled me the most was being like, okay, how do I like take that pain and take that resistance that I was feeling through like not really wanting to accept that maybe I wasn't going to be an animator eventually, to doing my own thing and finding
Yeah.
that self-belief. So that's kind of where it stemmed from.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions off of that, so I'll hit with you with this first one, and if we get back to them, we get back to them. If we don't, we don't. But when you talk about that kind of like that realization of like, oh, I'm not going to hit what I want. Can we walk through that a little bit? Because I think that's another big thing that everybody, and again, myself included, you kind of have this moment of like, oh man, am I a failure? And it can be hard to overcome. You can drag you down for a couple of days and or longer, so for some people. So how is that something where you were able to overcome that? Or was it like you kind of mentioned journaling? Was it journaling? Was it just really diving into it? Like what kind of was that where you're like, oh man, I'm not the thing I thought I was going to be good in or succeed in, I'm not, but yet I found something else in the process. So I mean, it all worked out, but
Yeah.
curious how that process went.
I mean, if I'm gonna go super deep with it for a second, it's like it started probably from schooling and feeling like I was dumb all the time with like just education, maybe having a little bit of ADHD, not being able to test properly, so automatically thinking I was a failure up front. Then I got to college, realized I could learn, I like to learn. And then as I was going for that animation thing, I realized that I like to paint too. And as I was painting, I realized that people spent way too much time on their painting sometimes, and this can relate to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Is I'd realized that if I keep starting new paintings and I failed faster, I got to a point where I was about to fail and then I restarted a new painting, that I can do that in a bunch of different avenues in life as well. So the faster I failed, the closer I was to a success, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. Yeah, you kind of faster you fall on your face, the quicker you know, like, oh, that wasn't you kind of what you just said, not to repeat it, but like, oh, that wasn't a success. Now I have to pivot. Versus these like slow arcs, you're kind of like again, you're meandering. You're like, oh, I think I can do it. I think I can, and then you just don't know.
Right.
It's almost like when you're at a job and they don't tell you if you're doing good or not. You'd rather just know, like, hey, you're not doing good. You suck at this job, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so I need to either figure it out or leave.
Yeah.
Versus like wandering around and then being mad at you all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and same thing with like being mad at yourself. Um, can you talk to you a little bit about like the journaling aspect of that? I'm curious, just because journaling was, I've talked about it on here and people that listen, but journaling was such a big shift in my life on connecting with my inner self. It was almost like the way I equate it, it's like I connect the spiritual self to my physical and mental self. They all like align when I journal.
Yeah.
And the more I journal, the more aligned as a person I become on goals, mission, objectives that I have in my life.
Totally. Yeah. So as far as journaling goes, I used to do a lot of just prompted journaling or like what my day felt like, kind of the end of the day synopsis. And as I kept doing that, I realized I was kind of just diving into the negative side a little too much of like what my day was like or what I didn't like from what achieved. But nowadays, I learned this from my mentor. It's called the 5-4-5 method. And what it is essentially is 4 morning rituals. It's 5 actions and 5 goals. And in the goals, you would reiterate your goals and I am, I will statements and things like that. So
Okay.
my mentor taught me that. And that's what I start my day with. So like it kind of stems from like the 5 a.m. Club book. I don't know if you've read it before, but
Not annoying. No.
a little bit of those principles of those four. Well, 5 a.m. Club sick. Maybe I don't wake up at 5 a.m.
I don't
every
want to
day.
be that early. Yeah, I don't actually want to be up that early, but I'll read the book.
But the principles were good. It's actually a fiction book in a nonfiction like lens, which
Okay.
is cool. But yeah, the 4 morning rituals is like simple. It's like hydrate, do some push-ups. I used to have like 100 push-ups on there. I've like dialed it back to be like, this needs to be done in 15 minutes so I can get fired up, you know? And sometimes like I aim for this every day, but obviously this isn't a thing I do every single day. But the goal setting part is the part that reprograms your brain. And I
Mhm.
think telling yourself you've either accomplished it or you are I'm going to, I intend to diligently
Yeah.
work towards my goals. Those are the type of things that I love to like reiterate to myself and start like instead of just dwelling on the things that I hadn't done, I'm like working towards something.
Yeah. Is there any do you do, like, a gratitude journal too, or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Or kinda part of that?
I would say like maybe weekly I'll jump into like after that goal setting, I might just go through a Bible verse or some sort of like I'm grateful for this, that, and the other.
Mm.
My gratitude stuff, I've realized that before I go to bed, just reiterating a bunch of things I'm grateful for until I just kind of get lazy enough to fall asleep is super helpful for me because I have like intrusive thoughts, you know, whatever.
Without yeah,
Yeah,
same
what
way.
everyone's like, yeah, I'm gonna die one day, I guess, and then it kind of sucks. So I'd rather just fill that period of my time just with gratitude, and you wake up feeling so much more
I
refreshed.
find that the gratitude that really centers you, like, because I get caught up in the things I don't have,
Yeah,
right? I'm not there yet. I'm not this successful. I don't have this much of money. I don't whatever it is.
exactly.
And then when I gratitude journal, and I haven't done it in a while, where I used to do it every day. I did it every day for like 3 months, and I swear to God, it was the best 3 months of my life.
Yeah,
But like because it just I would frame what I had going on in my life right now. What do I okay, I like and then there were some days, like, don't get me wrong, where, you wake up and you're like, "Oh, today's a rough day, a little rough mental day."
right.
And I would even sometimes only gratitude one thing, but at least I got something on the piece of paper when I sat down. But overall, it would just really ground me in like, I have amazing family, I have amazing friends, I have an amazing job that I like doing, I have amazing content that I'm enjoying doing on the side, like whatever that is
Yeah.
for each individual person. And just really grounded me to then feel motivated to continue those things and push myself harder of like, oh, I can get to those goals.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet, but I have a lot of great things going on now to
Yeah.
get me there.
Keeps you like that you have that like nice like launch pad that you've already built up for yourself. And I think through gratitude, it helps you realize that like, oh, I can spring out of whatever feeling I'm in because I have all this already.
Yeah.
Already done the hard work, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I love that.
Yeah, I like that. I think for a lot of people, myself included, when I first started, I was worried that it would like almost like make me not as ambitious,
Mhm.
but it did the opposite. Like I was like, oh, I got this. I have a lot going, like, but I can get more.
Yeah. That you're like, I actually have everything I need.
But I don't
Where'd you
understand.
go?
I'm still, someone's gonna comment on this and say that like I had gratitude journal and I didn't. I lost all drive, which is fine. Like I guess to each their own. But for me, it made me kind of be like, all right, yeah, I can keep moving forward on things versus like getting stuck in like analysis paralysis of like, "Oh my god, I've got all these things to do and
Yeah.
how this sucks," and even though I want it, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I think the hard work from all the things that you're grateful from, like holding a good relationship with your parents or holding a good relationship with your siblings, that's hard work, you know? Like those things are all things that you've gone through the weeds
Yeah,
on. So if you can remind yourself, like, I'm grateful for my health because I go to the gym all the time, I eat healthy most of the time, and
right.
like you're doing all the hard work, so you're reminding yourself of like, hey, I'm capable, and like those are the repetitions that you went through.
Yeah. You were talking about your morning routine a little bit. Can we walk through that a little bit? I'm curious.
It's not exact every day, but ideally, on an ideal day, which, you know, I try to stream as many of those together, it's that 5-4-5. Sometimes I'll get frame worked out the night before. I mean, ideally. But if I don't, then I'll wake up, look at my Google Calendar, see what I got going on. If I wake up at 9, if I wake up at 7, like that's the beauty of being
Okay.
able to do content. You can kind of wake up whenever, but like
Yeah.
I think, you know, 7 or 8 o'clock is a nice time, 5 a.m. club, but
Fun.
but no, I mean,
+2.
yeah, jump into the journal and start going through and, get that. that 4 morning rituals get those 5 daily actions. They don't all have to be, I tell my students this, but I don't have to tell, they don't have to be content related. They don't have to be about your business all the time.
Right.
They can be, I need to do my laundry today. I got to get the dishes done because I just put them off or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I try to like five actions, 5 goals, 4 morning rituals. And then after that, I'm just charting along. I'm just doing what I need to do and going into the calls, get my content done when I have free time,
Mm-hmm.
mapping out different blocks.
And I apologize. Are the 4 rituals and the 5 action items, they're
Oh yeah.
like, so which one's like your push-ups, for instance?
Yeah.
Is that the ritual part?
That's
Or
the
is it
ritual.
okay,
So
okay,
like
okay.
the ritual is just like four
What
things
you
to
do to
get
get
you,
prepped
yeah, get
for
you
the
fired up.
next 10 things.
Hydrate, read, go for a walk, push-ups, something like that.
Yeah,
Like
gotcha.
they can differ per day, but I think holding yourself to something, a little thing that you can spark yourself up with, could be stretching, could be
Yeah.
meditation, could be all sorts of stuff.
You ever do the Chinese morning longevity hacks? Have you seen those
Where you
ones?
like jump,
They're just
yeah,
yeah, I was talking about their
get your
yesterday.
lymphatic drain.
Lymphatic drain's one of them. They got one where you, like, swing your arms. They got
Yeah,
tree
have to do
trunk.
that.
I started implementing the full body swings
Oh
in
yeah.
the morning, and I feel like because it's like you kinda squat with it and you, like, come up, you're like,
You want to show the camera? No.
I would dude, yeah, if we could, I'm sure I would destroy the camera doing it. But, like, yeah, you just squat down and you go, like, we go up all the way, and then you come back down,
Oh, okay.
you do, like, a full, we call it, like, body swing.
Sounds like a kettlebell swing, but without a
With
one.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do like 10 or 15 in the morning. I'm like, afterwards, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, everything's moving, everything's
Feeling
feeling
good.
alive, and a little stretching here and there if they can. But I was curious. So no Chinese morning hacks on your end.
Not right now.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. We'll get you
Maybe
on.
meditation, maybe depending on how I'm feeling. Obviously, I plug and play different things that
Yeah.
I employ out of my toolkit. But yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. I like that you take the approach of like it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. As long as you're doing, it doesn't have to be the same things every day. As long as you're doing the 1-5-4-5 ritual.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm somebody who I tend to try to go like, I have to do this every day. And then when I don't, it's like, oh, fuck, I'm starting over, which isn't,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't beat yourself up too much about having to start over. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the fluidity of it. I think maybe I need a little bit less rigidness in my life.
Yeah, I think people get too caught up in the hustle side, the check in the box side, and that same thing with content. If we're like, I'm not trying to push us into content,
No, no.
but
We're,
when
wherever we
you
go.
think about content, it's like a lot of people just be like, post one video today, post this video on the stories, like, and it's like you just sometimes you get to a rhythm where you're just checking the box and you don't actually put enough mental energy and creativity into what you're doing. So then, of course, your videos are going to flop because you're just seeing it as
Yeah.
my push-ups, or I'm seeing it as my hydration. It's like same thing, but yeah.
No, that's interesting. And we'll go down this avenue because I've always found this very fascinating where there's a fine line of like being a creator and then also being a creator that's their business. And I look at somebody like some of the bigger creators in the space, not that they don't necessarily have that creativity, they definitely do. It's how they got there. But they also have that very like business sense of like, I'm doing this every day because this is my life in a weird way. And like, I look at like someone like Alex Earl, for instance, huge success,
Yeah.
would post every day for a while. And then I think she had creative stuff too. And then now she's kind of in a spot where she doesn't necessarily have to post every day. But it is interesting to me because as a creative person, just like yourself, I'm sure you struggle with this of that, like, we don't have that business mentality mind. We have
Yeah.
the creator, we have the fluidity thing a little bit more, but yet there's a kind of a struggle and a balance you have to find of which one's which.
Right.
And again, I think it could be, 45, 55, but what does that look like per person is so different. And I find everyone's got their own angle at it too, which is
100%.
very interesting.
Yeah. I think when it came to my story, like obviously I started off as a painter, if you don't know, but I was trying to document the artist journey, and I was attempting to sell my prints, sell my originals, and through that, I knew that I had to cultivate business mindset, but I wanted to be entrepreneurial. Like ultimately, before that, I was doing social media marketing. I was trying to learn all these little side hustles, doing everything I possibly could, but my own art.
Right.
Literally, like to be like I didn't have the belief that I was able to sell my paintings to someone, so I had to try every single thing else, drop shipping, SMA, all these different like little viral hacks that
Hi,
we're
dude.
trying to make money with.
This is so ringing such
So
a bell with me.
it's
So
just
much.
like annoying. So it's like I realized I was gonna hone in on the thing I knew that was the most leverage, which was posting a daily video. And I was fairly okay with posting videos. I didn't really know how to like edit very well. I was okay. I wasn't bad by any means, but I never really posted every single day. So I was like, let me just, my back's against the wall. Let me go ahead and post every single day, highest leverage thing I can do, and just share my art journey as someone who doesn't have it,
Mm.
someone who hasn't sold a bunch of paintings, someone who hasn't had even a print drop yet, doesn't have a studio. So that's kind of how the approach I started from. And as I did that, I realized that like, oh my God, like I don't know if my paintings right now are gonna really scratch the itch of my entrepreneurial drive. And through that, I just kept developing and finding new patterns and finding out how to brand deals or all these different content uh I mean ways to make money, you know, and then trying
Yeah.
to find different ways to find the business side of it, and then eventually found coaching. But yeah.
No, I think that's a phenomenal story for those that are listening. And let's dive into this a bit more too about the driving. I've said this a couple times now, but like, what made you think I got to do a storytelling? I got to go do this own thing. Well, what was kind of that light bulb moment of like, I got nothing to lose?
Well, I was in a sales job, and the sales job was fine. It had a great culture.
We could talk about your ass off.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was just like a commission based. Uh,
100%
you know,
commission.
oh yeah,
Oh, fun.
I was in there
Those are the
from
best.
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. full suit and tie for a 1099 job. And we were there Saturdays and Sundays, and it was like we were part of the wolf pack and all these different things. I love those guys. It was a fun environment, but I literally got to a point where I was just completely flat broke. I couldn't even like buy another lead. I couldn't drive to work anymore. I was like, okay, really got to figure something out right now, or else I'm gonna get broken up
Yeah.
with, and we gotta go.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna move this a bit closer.
yeah,
So sorry.
sorry.
You don't have to move. I can move it closer. You don't. You
All
can
good.
back as far as as comfortable as you want. But I'm gonna move it a bit.
So I had to really like get myself out of there, and it was a place where they try to pull you back in. They're like, "What do you need? We can help you." It's like these guys are rich, so like they're really willing to do that. But I knew that inside of me something was dying, and
Mhm.
it was my first cubicle job. I knew that I hadn't painted for a year now, and inside the cubicle in my last couple of weeks, I started hearing people talk about this guy in Tampa that was selling his paintings to these guys who were winning. You know, different milestones were hit. They're like, "Oh, we're buying this painting from this guy." If you guys know who it is, I don't know if you know Skell.
No, I don't know.
Okay, Jason Skelton's a huge artist in Tampa, and he has his work in Hard Rock, Aloft hotels, like all of different places. But even in the International Mall, some of the stores have his work in there.
That's sick.
So he's huge. And I started hearing people buying Skell paintings. I'm like, damn, this guy's literally living my dream right now. And I don't understand why these guys don't know I am a painter. Like, why won't they buy my paintings? Like, I feel like I have a better paint, like just ego,
Right, right,
you know,
right,
all
right,
these different
right.
things. And I was just like, I need to get the hell out of here. I need to like literally get out of here and start painting. And that drive started to really kindle. And then it was crazy because I started posting that, like I said, daily from January 2024 to March 2024. And I think around at the end of March, I hit 7,000 followers. And it was the first time because I was trying for a whole decade to grow. And I only had 1,000 for 10 years. And imagine you're posting 3 or 4 times a week and you still are stuck at the same amount. And Jason puts on a story, Skell. He says like, "Hey, I'm looking for someone to do like a little mentorship day. You know, just throwing something out there." He's got 110,000 followers. So I'm sitting here like, let me just shoot out in the dark. I was like, "Yo, it'd mean a lot. I'm a Tampa native." Da da da. Da. He's like, "All right, bet, come on." And I'm like, "What? That's crazy." So I'm like, I'm driving over to his place. My truck's breaking down. I'm like I literally every time I go to a stoplight, I have to restart the truck. It was shit in the bed. Like I'm literally at this point where I just got this new server job. My truck's breaking down. I just hit the best following count I've ever had. I'm like, things are moving. I just need to keep them moving. So I go and have this like studio day with Skell. He shows me all the tricks of the trade. We go around in his Lamborghini. He's like kind of flashy. He's like a, you know, Miami kind of vibe,
Mhm.
bodybuilder. But like he drives me around his Lamborghini to drop off some paintings, shows me how like things are done, takes me to lunch, all this stuff. Super cool, super crazy. But it was insane that I don't know if I manifested that thing. Being in that cubicle, I told him this story. I'm like laying down in like my head down, just being like, I'm so tired right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm like on my 500th cold call, hearing people talk about buying a $10,000 painting from this guy, and I'm sitting here not making a single dollar all week. So what's going on right now? And then 3 months later, I'm in his Lamborghini, and he's driving me around. I'm like, what is going on? This is insane. And you know, we still talk a little bit here and there, but it's never like, you know, we're not friends or anything, but it was still an insane like manifestation, I felt like.
Mhm. No, it's crazy how things of the like that kind of align. Like you hear something, like you kind of already know you're on your way out, and you start working on things, and you're slowly working, then just like things start going. I've always been a firm believer that the universe or God or whatever, I don't know your beliefs, but I think they work in your favor.
Yeah.
And as long as you are working on the back end, you can go and achieve the things you want to go to achieve. It doesn't mean it's going to happen like that, but like as long as if you've got your goal set on what you want
Mhm.
and you're working toward it on the back end, the universe kind of like bends to that will of
Mhm.
like it's going to be in your favor and things are going to start aligning. You just have to then be ready to take that jump and go for it. It's kind of one of
Literally.
those things.
Something I tell myself, and I told my girlfriend today, I was like, "Hey, like, if you can't handle what you have right now, how do you expect the universe to give you more?" And I tell myself that all the time because it's like, if you're in oh, shit.
You're
The
lying. What the fuck was that? Okay, sorry.
Weird.
The screen just turned off. That was so
It
scary.
was just a screensaver, okay. But yeah, basically, yeah, your intentions shape who you are, and as long as you have the right idea of where you're headed, it's gonna work for you in your favor, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So, how was the mentor day otherwise? Like, what else did you guys get to do and talk about?
He said, "Hey, write up 20 questions on a piece of paper and bring them to me." And I was like, "Okay." So I like wrote up a bunch of questions. We came there. He showed me a studio, showed me a couple different places. We went and we went and dropped off paintings to some of his collectors, and we were like talking with them, they business owners and stuff. And I was just kind of tagging along, just listening
Yeah.
to the ride. I'm like, this is insane. Like, he's telling me how much money he made last year, and it was just like astronomically crazy for an artist. Like, not a starving artist, tell you that much. And just the amount of abundance was just incredible to be around and just be in the proximity of. And I think proximity is huge.
Did you guys talk about content at all and content creation?
Um, Content, not necessarily. Like he'll talk like honestly, like no hate to Scale, but I think his content blew up like 5 or 6 years ago. So he's like, he's not struggling with content, but he's not necessarily a content creator. Everybody in Tampa knows his stuff. He's been to all the parties, he's been to all the tables, and like he's got this huge network that I don't even think content is something that's on his mind too much
I don't know why I don't. I need to look him
anymore.
up. And
Skel. Yeah. Huge, awesome guy. Very nice. And he just showed me what it was really like to be like a winner in that space.
yeah, and so you felt motivated to be like, I
Oh
can
my
do
God,
this.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then yeah, after that, another 15,000 followers 3 months after that, and then I'm approaching him right now. It's insane, just like in a matter of like 2 years, what can happen really.
yeah. You guys still keep in touch? Are you gonna be like, I'm you
Every now and then I'll
protege
comment on
right
his
now?
stuff
Yeah,
or
yeah,
I'll DM him or something, but like I don't try to bother him too much.
yeah.
He has a
Gotcha.
lot of people he talks to all the time, so
Right,
it's like
right.
yeah.
Tampa guys. On Tampa's turning to Miami. What are we doing?
Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had
Are
to
you
be
from
honest.
Tampa?
Yeah.
You are from Tampa?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I know I should rephrase that. I know that you lived in Tampa.
Yeah.
And then anyways, I didn't know if you were from there though,
Born and
like born and
raised.
raised. Where okay, wait, time out. Where born and raised?
Apollo Beach. Yeah.
Okay, wait, we did talk
Yeah.
about that the other day.
Well, like,
Sorry.
if you ever heard of
Now I
Fish Hawk before,
yeah.
yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of yeah.
Okay. You said that the other day and now I'm just dumb. I forgot.
No, it's all good. You're from Clearwater, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tampa people. I like it's funny being out here in Denver. I've run into so many Florida people,
Yeah.
and it's fun because I kind of feel like we all have it. We all have like a bit of a camaraderie there,
Mhm.
and we do also all we're like Florida, Florida, and we all
Yeah.
kind of like stick together in that sense. So if we see each other, we're always like, "What's up, Florida?" So
I feel like it's just like the polar opposite of where we're from. So it's like the first place to go is Denver because like we don't have mountains, we don't have snow, we don't have this, we don't have that.
that is a thousand
So
percent.
it's just like where's the polar opposite place to go to? And it's literally Denver. So it's like
That's my take on it too. I
yeah.
mean, it's like growing up at the beach. I kind of didn't take advantage of it, or I took advantage of it, I should say. And then moving here, I was like, "This is awesome." Like, I mean, I remember visiting 7, 8. Oh gosh, I'm sure it was 10 years ago.
Right.
I remember visiting, helping a buddy move out here from college, and being like, "Yo, this is nuts!" Like, what is like the mountains are right there, and just never like. I remember going back to memory lane, but like clear, I can remember this vividly of us coming over one of the you drive out here from Kansas, that boring drive. It's kind of hilly and flat.
Yeah.
We drove out here.
Yeah.
And I remember coming over, like it was like nothing, still nothing for 8 hours. And all of a sudden we'd come over one hill and it was just the mountains. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, what? This is nuts.
Insane.
Like I can't believe this. And then yeah, going out hiking and driving around, I was like, I remember saying will live here. I
Yeah.
don't know when, but I'm going to for a brief period of time. And
Love that.
straight enough, it comes to fruition. So
Yeah, we drove here from Missouri.
did I manifest that?
You did. You had to have.
Dude.
It was those mountains you saw immediately. Yeah, we drove here, but it was at night, so like Candace
Oh, you
get that whole reveal. But I've been here multiple times, and like I said, the first time I was like 10 years ago. My family, my friends online, like that I would game with, were from Denver, or, like from South Denver, and we were like, "Oh my God, dude, we're coming to your town!" Like my parents didn't even know we are coming, so like, or didn't even know you live here, so we're just gonna like meet up. So like, it was a cool.
sick.
coming of age 10 years ago, and then now we're like hanging out every day here. Yeah,
Isn't that a crazy thing to have friends from video games?
it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We used to game with, like, some kids from, like, Germany,
that's insane.
like, play Nazi Zombies with them,
Hit 'em up.
yeah, I mean, I know. So I think we're way past due at this point, I don't remember their names, but just, like, I have other friends that are like that, like, "Oh, yeah, I hung out with this guy, he's I go from California, met him at a gaming, and we're gonna go hang out." I'm like, "Okay,
Fire.
sick."
Yeah.
One of my best friends, shout out Nikki, he comes on the podcast sometimes, and he met some guys, same thing, like, playing Call of Duty, and they found out they both lived like 30 minutes from each other in Tampa.
That's
So they hung out in person,
yeah.
became really good friends. They've now both moved on elsewhere, but they like still are really good friends.
It happened to me too. I was in like one of they would call them like clans or like little like
Yeah, like
groups
call
or
side,
whatever.
call side or whatever.
And I didn't realize that all the guys that were in my group were in out of Lakeland and out of like Plant City. And I went to this like play and trade and we did like a competition, but like we were there with the whole squad and we're like, bro, like everyone was like 10 years older than me, but I was like in high school, like 16 years old at this play and
That's so
trade.
awesome.
So funny.
That's awesome. You still play video games?
Um,
Not as much.
I've been playing some Age of Empires recently just for my mind.
That sounds.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds really up my alley.
It's-
Where is that on? What
It's
is it
like
on?
a top-down, like medieval city builder where you just like fight the next. It's
Yeah.
basic.
Is it like Command and Conquer? Do you know what Command and Conquer?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a top-down game, yeah, where you're kind of just taking the little peasants and
Moving them around
yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
it's fun.
See, I used to play Command and Conquer on the computer, and it was if I could find it again, I'd play in a second. It's like strict same thing. You like build your base,
Yeah,
build your army, and then you go
yeah,
fight the objective
like
or whatever.
Rome or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a simple game.
I feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it just because it's like you spend like 45 minutes and then you're done with it. Like if you lose, you get pissed off and you don't play it for a while. So it's
Oh, see, that's the problem. I can't do that. I can't do that. That's why I gave up all video games because I get like,
I have addictive personality for
dude,
sure.
the competitive nature in me just goes insane on video games. I'm like, I can't like, I'll keep playing. I remember playing. Last thing I had was a PS4, and I used to play Apex all the time. Right, and like I would come home from work, and I'd play an hour. I'll just play for a couple games. And
Yeah.
if I lost all 3 games quickly, I'm going until I win.
Yeah,
And it would
Then
be,
it's-
and then it's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
I was playing Valorant and Counter Strike. My brother's actually really good at games, so like all his buddies are like ex pros and stuff. So like it came natural to be in Discord and be with someone who was like on Complexity or some like crazy organization. It's like, oh, like this guy's nuts. Actually, like a professional, been paid multiple times for this, and so I'm sitting there as like the worst gamer in the Discord, and just like I don't know, we'd play some FPS during the COVID times, and then like I'll just watch them play sometimes when I'm bored.
Yeah, and that's the problem is I'm not good enough to be a paid player. So the level of addictedness I have is not good for me.
For someone who's
I will do nothing. Yeah, I will just keep playing and I won't ever be ranked.
yeah
Ever.
rage queuing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole thing.
terrible.
I don't know if I've told this on the podcast, but so I got rid of my consoles and I went and lived with this guy and we used to play Madden and NHL and he had the consoles and started to play like a little bit here and there, and then the same thing. Like then it just starts taking me over. I'm like, let's go play, let's play. I got a free night, let's go. And one night we both were we wrapped up work at like 4:30, wrapped up on a Wednesday, and we played. We let's play a game, Matt. And we sit down, and we play a game, and he's like, best 2 out of 3. I'm like, done. So we play best 2 out of 3, and then it's best 3 out of 5. That's
Yeah,
3 out of 5, best 4 out of 7, and we
Yeah,
kept
all
playing.
night.
We did not. Well, we looked at the clock. It was like 2 a.m. and we were like, we looked at each other, went to bed, and then I remember we wake up the next morning, met in the kitchen for coffee, and then I look at each other and I go, we can never do that again. I need you to understand right now.
Stop it.
We have to sit down. We have to shake on how many games we're going to play, and we have to honor our words.
That's it.
And then from there, we did do that, but it was that one night where we both, and it wrecked the rest of our work week too.
Right.
We just wrecked it because we were working from home too, and it's like, oh, your
Oh
bed's
my
right
God.
there. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
just play
just
again.
go, just play. Or I could just play.
You're like, I'll just move my mouse
Continue to-
times.
Yeah,
We've lost all the women listeners.
it's a. They're back.
They're like mad at
me.
See ya.
I'll get them back. It's a conversation about controlling your addiction.
Yes, if you're gonna be addicted to something, you might as well be addicted to something that's good
Productive.
for you.
Right. Do it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shopping, ladies. Shopping. It's not a thing. That's not good.
I'll shop.
Yeah. When we all sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't have that like where I want to go shopping all the time, but then I'll have like a weird like spurt of like a couple weeks where I'm like, oh, I need that. I don't need that. Like, but like then I'll be fine for the next year.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I'm a little bit more on that. I was like a little more materialistic for some reason. I'm like, yeah, I think I need those, and I use it as a lever to be like, all right, if I buy this, I need to like work harder.
Yes,
So sometimes it's a little bit like that too.
I will say the one thing I never thought I'd be into and I've gotten super into is watches.
See it. I see what
This
you
is just
got.
basic. This is just basic little Seiko with a white face, but
Psycho.
yeah,
Yeah.
not bad. But I will watch YouTube videos on watches. Like if I come into money, that's where I'm not buying sports car. Care less.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe property would be fun as like an investment thing, but like as far as like a purchase for me that I would want is I'd be buying watches.
What's weird too is I had the same exact feeling. Like I went from being like never thinking about a watch. My dad was kind of, watch guy, but never really he was just buying like G-Shocks and things like that, Invictas. And then like randomly when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was like, there's every single entrepreneur I've ever talked to is into watches. And it's like, I don't know what it is, but I think it's just a benchmark for like a
Interesting.
trophy. Like it's like when you win at a certain thing, you need a little bit of a trophy. So you buy yourself something that is a watch holds
Yeah,
value most of the time. So like it's beautiful, it's a piece of art, and then it also is a trophy. And you can keep it in a case if you want, or you can wear it, whatever.
that's probably some truth to that. And I wonder how many of them really care. They might like the way it looks, but how like what watch they have, what they're going for. Like again, do they watch YouTube videos on it? You know, like
Probably
that.
not, but maybe.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I mean, it does have. I mean, that's where they most of
Yeah.
them get their
Inspiration.
profits from
Anyways.
and
Yeah.
inspirations. That's where they, it's just people wanting to show off the Rolex. Hey, I got something like
When I was
whatever.
at Cherry Creek with I think it was my mom was with me, and I walked in there to the Rolex store because I'm just like obviously a Rolex is something everyone kind of wants
Yeah,
because they like watches. So I walked in and like the one is in its own case by itself, and like they don't usually have like the GMT2s like out on display. Usually it's usually like all these different types, but like the root beer was just staring at me. I'm like, that's the one I want. And
that's
I
the
don't know
one.
if it was a sign or not because like I've walked into a lot of Rolex stores and they're never the one,
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's winking at me or something.
I'd want a decent. I would like a Explorer or as basic as it can be, a Black Submariner. Just
Okay.
basic with
Keep
those.
it simple.
Keep
Yeah.
it simple with the Rolex. There's not many other. I'm not a big Daytona. I'm not a big
Yeah.
GMT guy on Rolex's end. Like I don't like the Pepsi or anything of that nature. But when it comes to other watches, I'm like becoming a big fan of Omega. Like big fan. I mean, I like the Speedmaster.
Yeah.
Best one they have, going to the moon, things of that
Totally.
nature. But I've a good Aquaterra and what's their dive watch called? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, I like their dive watch too. They put like waves in it.
Okay.
We'll pull it up later. But anyways,
Yeah, I barely even wear a watch, but like I'm only gonna wear it if it's something I'm like proud of.
yeah,
Or it's a Garmin or something.
yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta say I wear the Apple Watch here and there, but I watched a video, and I never had a problem with it before, but I watched a video of Kevin O'Leary talking about watches. He's a big watch guy, and he was talking about, like, how dare you wear an Apple Watch? And I was like, oh, fuck, he's right. I'm too big of a watch guy now to fucking wear it.
Yep.
Besides to, like, the gym and
You
the
like put
sauna.
on the $25 Casio and suck it up.
Yeah, literally,
That's what they love.
But now I wear them all the times where, like, if I don't, like, yesterday I was going to the baseball game, and I, like, forgot to put one on. And I went like, oh, shit.
You inspired me to want to go to the baseball game yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to go.
Yeah, it's Razor.
Razor, yeah.
Razor in town.
Today was the last Rays game, man.
Yeah.
But
6:40. We got time. It's right.
no, I think it started at 1.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
day game?
yeah.
Oh,
We live right next to the stadium, so I'm
Okay.
like, oh shit.
would have been fun. Yeah. Yeah. The
15
Rockies
bucks
suck.
and you're there. Yeah.
It's so cheap. And then on Monday was BOGO hot dog night.
Was it really? You had to make a bang for your buck there.
I didn't even know it was. I got
That's
a
hilarious.
email from it, and I was like, oh, I already bought tickets. This is great. Why not?
I need to hit up a game before I leave. I'm out in like 2 weeks.
They're on a 6-game homestand right now, so I don't know if it ends today or what, but
Shoot.
maybe got some time.
Yeah, I need to hit it up.
So I know you guys are on a road trip for those that don't know, if that's kind of cool to say. So where's the next destination?
Yeah, so we're going to Salt Lake City, Utah,
Sweet.
and then we're gonna go to Lake Tahoe for maybe a couple days, and we're kind of just making our way towards San Diego. So the ultimate goal is getting across the country since we're from Tampa, Florida, St. Pete. I think it'd be really cool to say we just drove across country, especially before I'm 30, kind of getting over there.
Yeah.
I turned 30 on August 21st, so really soon. And we just decided like, yo, we're about to sign our 6th year on the same apartment. So we were like, let's not do that. Let's figure out how to get out of this matrix that we've put ourselves into, working the same hospitality jobs, doing the same sort of like patterns. And we were like, let's just break the pattern altogether. And it's helped a lot. We went to Missouri to see her mom at first because she lives in a insane, weird like factory.
Okay.
And like,
He lives in a factory.
yeah, so her grandparents owned a museum, and they like their kind of passion was like collecting and like going to auctions. So they made this a beautiful pop culture and art museum in Missouri, and they owned a couple other buildings and whatever. But since they passed, she came from Florida to live there and like take care of everything. And now she's there alone with her dog, and she's in a 30,000 square foot building.
That's insane.
which was insane. So we went up there for like 2.5 months. It was a little too long for me, at least, because just being with a family member of any kind. But
We got in the boonies too, kinda?
oh yeah,
So, yeah,
there's like
there's the
12,000 people in that city.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
so it's very tiny.
very tiny. It's the home of a Mark Twain, and it was like, just country.
Okay, yeah.
But through that, it kind of humbled me, and I think we did it on purpose to humble ourselves to like be like, all right, we need to lock in and like learn content better. We need to learn our business, understand what we're doing, and so we stayed with her for 2 months, and now we're been in Denver for 2 months,
Yeah.
and then we're going there and then there.
It's not bad to have those lock-in periods a little
Yeah,
bit, and especially if you can remove yourself from the temptation of what's ever around you. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love Tampa and I love here, but, like, when I am there, I've
yeah,
got 1,000 things I can go do. When I'm here, I've got 1,000 things I can do. So it takes
100%.
a lot more discipline. I guess it's almost like a shortcut to be able to be like, "Oh, I'm going out here and I'm just gonna lock in." Like,
Yeah,
wasn't it it was the Beatles who did that with one of their albums. They, like, went out into the country. I can't remember what that farm or estate is, but they, like, stayed there for, like, a couple weeks and
I
just
do remember
wrote
that.
music and songs and, stayed there.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. I don't know where it was though, but it felt like that because there was no one there, and it was like very like secluding. But at the same time, I was able to really understand like what I wanted from content, what I wanted from a business, how I wanted to like because I was already running the business beforehand, but I wasn't running it nearly at the capacity that I want to because I had other things in mind. I had to move out, I had to say goodbye to everybody, and like all these different things. But now that I'm like actually free, we both have each one of our cars. We have our cat with us. We've got it all. And I still have my studio back in St. Pete, and it's like a like, little mini route, but we're going back in like January to uproot that and like put a shed in my dad's backyard and just keep going on trails and
Nice.
stuff.
Nice. And is it the goal just to drive around the country, or are you gonna go abroad a little bit, or what are you
Yeah,
thinking?
we're gonna do some Bali, I think.
Ooh.
We want to check out some other places, maybe Guatemala or something. And then by maybe March of next year, just figure out like, all right, let's conclude where was the best place we saw, and like decide like, all right, let's lock in an apartment there or lock in a house to rent or buy. Who knows?
That's sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely go to Bali and all them in the winter when it's not monsoon season.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's scary.
It's like monsoon and rainy season now till, like, December-ish.
Oh shoot. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're going a good time.
Go for that, go for a great time. I went to
January, yeah.
Thailand in January at a time, and it was good.
Was it
It
perfect?
was good.
Yeah.
But if you want, I've, like, seen videos of people go in November, and it's like it rains, like, in Florida where it rains almost every afternoon, well, it's like that times 10
'Cause
sometimes.
you're, like, on the
Just
water
yeah.
all the time, yeah.
And, like, I know my buddy was thinking of going to the Philippines this week, and, he was, like, he got laid off, and he was like, "I was gonna go on a trip." He was gonna go, and then he realized it was rainy season, and their rainy season is, like, it could rain for 3 days straight, so you could be
Tragic.
out there, and it's just raining 3 days.
Was it a 24-hour flight? Like, what was that all about?
I think it's, I don't think so. Maybe with layovers, I think it's probably about 18 or so.
That's a lot.
I did went from my trip was here to Vancouver, Vancouver to, Bangkok, and it was like a 16.5 hour flight in air
Gosh.
did the whole time, which I was like,
Sleeping a lot?
I was shocked planes could do that.
That's a lot.
It's crazy to
Yeah.
me. I that's a great recommendation on, like, long flight. So because of the time change, like 12-hour time difference, basically,
Yeah.
when it's night here, it's their morning
Mhm.
and the next day. So we flew out at night. So I just forced myself to stay up the first 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then I took a sleeping pill, like Benadryl or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Quaalude at
It certainly wasn't anything crazy. It was like a melatonin or a Benadryl. I can't remember which one. That's all I need to knock out for starters. But I took that at the 8 hour mark,
Yeah.
and I slept the last 8 hours. And then I woke up when we landed. It was 7 a.m. So I woke up like refreshed, ready to go. Had no
Sorry.
jet lag, nothing,
Yeah.
and I did have a full day. But then on the way home, I did not do that.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
'Cause then you got back and everyone's sleeping. You're like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, no, literally. I got back. I think I landed at like 5, and I was like, I am fucking exhausted.
Did you, was it a big plane or was it just like the one aisle?
No, it was the one with the
2.
seats in the middle.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, like 5 across in the middle,
I was
which
gonna
I was
say.
like, that would suck.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 aisle, 5 aisle.
Yeah, I was in the aisle of the middle on
Is that fun?
it wasn't bad. Of course, my stomach just, like, ruined itself in the middle, and I was, like, sitting in first class, and they're like, "Hey, we've noticed you here for, like, 40 minutes, like, you gotta go back to your seat," and they were really nice, but, like, they're like, I'll give you some ginger ale," but, of course, the second they brought the food, I was like, "Bro, I have to, like,
Yeah.
get the
I'm
yak
dying.
for sure."
Oh, that's horrible. I mean, especially how long was the flight? Were you like,
It was, like, an 8-hour.
oh,
Yeah. But it was fine. After that whole episode or whatever, it was fine. It was good.
So you're thinking about doing Guatemala.
Yeah, yeah.
What's enticing you to go? I went for 8 days,
You
so
went to Guatemala?
I can give you guys a ton of
Oh,
stuff.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's just another, like, becoming, like, a hub.
It certainly is like a hidden gem. I personally think this is the last year. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be
it's gonna blow up like Costa Rica.
crazy
Yeah,
before. Yeah, and hopefully like it was so cheap. Not comparison to like Asia. Asia money is gonna go way farther.
yeah,
But it was I think it's like 8 to 1. So $1 8 of theirs. But
yeah.
I think in Thailand it was like Thailand was the worst conversion rate and it was 33 to 1. So you're
That's
like,
insane.
bruh, you're like, I got $1,000, I got $33,000 now.
That's literally
This
insane.
is crazy.
Yeah, I've heard some insane stuff. But no, when I worked at restaurants, there was a lot of people who were from Guatemala, and I was learning their like native tongue. Like they don't speak Spanish in Guatemala, or apparently, like most people.
Well, it's different Spanish, but it's Spanish.
Yeah,
These are the dialect. Like it's just like it's Mexico's Spanish
yeah.
versus like Spain is different.
So
Spain's
they
like a
have these like
proper.
ancient dialects that they act like people like that don't speak Spanish there. Like imagine you're from Mexico and you only speak Spanish. Like the people from Guatemala that don't speak Spanish are
Okay.
speaking mom.
Oh, okay.
MAM. And like I went through
It's like from
mostly
Urian
learning
language
this.
or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
Mayan or Aztec or some weird, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, and like I was learning how to speak to them and it doesn't sound anything like Spanish. Like
Mhm.
the way they say como estás or like how are you is like zentaya. It was like insane. Like it's like looking at how it was written, I was like my mind was blown because I felt like we were all trying to speak to them in Spanish because
Yeah.
like, they're in the kitchen, you're like, "Oh, maybe they speak Spanish." Nope. Like they didn't understand the same way they didn't understand English, they didn't understand Spanish either. It's like that's so insane. So, we
Interesting.
were
Yeah.
trying to find ways to speak to them and like they just had to teach us their actual stuff.
Interesting. So some dialect with Mayan and Spanish combined in
Old
a
school
sense.
stuff.
Yeah,
There's
that's
only like a
interesting.
million people or not a million, maybe like I don't even know.
I don't know.
Not
Not
very many.
we're yeah.
We're deep.
It's but that's like interesting. I kind of forgot about I knew the ruins were there, like the Mayan and Aztec or Mayan. I think is that area,
Yeah.
and the Incas are in the South America, Aztec in Mexico. Yeah. Sorry, I had to
Yeah.
like walk through that myself. But that's crazy because okay, I didn't think about that when I was there though because the Mayans are known for like the human sacrifices and the big temples and things of that nature. And it's like, well, yeah, they were living around volcanoes that were just like erupting all the
Yeah.
time. Like there's
Insane.
one right now that it's erupting right now and they evacuate all the towns. It's the one that I hiked.
Oh, that's
It's like
crazy.
erupting too much
I've
where they
heard
were
there
like,
was like was it the one with the marriage or the honeymoon? And then
oh, I
got
don't know
burned?
about that. Oh no, I don't know about
Like,
that.
yeah, I heard
But
some crazy story about
yeah, Mount Fuego apparently is like there's a massive eruption where they started to evacuate some of the towns. So like there's no hikes going on right now. Like you cannot do it. Which is
that's insane.
yeah. But there's other things you can go do. It's like I have some friends that are going actually, and I was giving them things to do that you have to go if you go, you have to go to the lake. You have to go to the lake.
The lake.
Lake Atitlan is the name. Sorry, I'm getting excited. It was so much fun. It was a great time, and it's
Oh, I've seen that. It kind of looks like Italy almost. Like
yeah,
it's
it's
like
the Lake Como
across.
of South
Yeah,
America, as
Como
they say.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It has buildings that are just like that.
Yeah.
But it sits at 5,000 feet, so where
Oh,
we're at now, and it's
yeah.
just surrounded by these mountain and volcanoes, and it's a huge. And there's like 9 towns around the lake.
Mhm.
You stay at one, you get ferried to and from the other ones. Oh my, it's awesome.
Are the volcanoes 14ers or no?
No, they are
They're like
not.
12.
12, 13.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. So
They're
the
so hot.
one that I went and did was I believe it was Mount Acentenago, which is across from Mount Fuego, which is the one that's erupting right now.
Mhm.
But it was like 13 something. You base camp at like 12.5, 12.6, but you start at 7.
Wow,
So you have
yeah,
to be 5,000 feet elevation gain like
that's
7, 8
crazy.
miles. Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest hikes.
Did you have
And I hiked.
sticks? Did you have like
I did get a station. They had them for the tour, and I was like, oh, I think I'll take one.
yeah,
Yeah, and I needed it.
that's insane.
It was, and I'm from Colorado, so I hike and stuff. It was one of the harder hikes I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm not good at hiking, or like when I don't have the altitude.
So you're not the nature person of the two.
No, I'm not the like Jules is definitely way more into hiking than I am. I like
Shout out
nature and
Jules.
hiking, but I get fueled by like we did a big one, a 2 night, or it was supposed to be a 2 night. We left one day in. But either way, I I'm still fueled from that a month and a half ago. But I know there's people that do it every single weekend here, and it's like I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I feel like I was out in nature not too long ago. I've gone to Red Rocks. I've gone to a few different places since then. I've gone to Golden, did some like river rapid stuff,
Heck yeah.
and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm good on nature
Yeah.
for now. Let me
Like a
lock
taste
in.
of nature.
Yeah,
Like a taste of
yeah. Let
nature.
me lock in now because I've seen nature. I just I think it can be a good distraction for people sometimes.
That's
It's
I
it's
could yeah, that's fair. I might be doing that
I've just noticed a lot of people in
sometimes.
Colorado, like, they'll have their 9 to 5 or they'll have their thing, and I don't know if this is, like, fully true or I'm just being arrogant or nothing, but it's like, you got Friday night, they go out, Saturday, they go for a hike, Sunday, they try to recollect, and then they're back on to work on Monday. It's like, how do you work on your own thing if you're going that direction? You know, if you're trying to, like, build out of the 9 to 5 or building out of what you're doing,
Yeah.
it's kind of impossible. So if you're always inundating yourself with these new travels and I think you need them, but in certain seasons, I feel like you have to, be really cut and dry about what you're saying yes to.
1,000%.
Yeah,
I always have to every season I have to like reel it in at some point. I have to go, okay, I gotta lock in a little bit. And
yeah,
like for me, it's like let's not drink on Saturday night. Sunday we're mean business, and like
right.
we're trying to be sober a little bit. We're still gonna go on the hike because that's kind of why I moved out here was to do like nature things.
Yeah,
So for me, it's like I'm gonna do that on the weekend, but I am gonna like lock in on a Sunday now and
mhm.
do a ton of clips or whatever it is. So
Yeah, and especially if it's your brand, like, it's different if your brand is nature, if that's, like, part of your whole getup, but if it's not mine, it's, like, really hard to, like,
yes,
keep distracting myself with something that I know I like, I just don't know if it's gonna fuel me
yeah,
as
thousand
much as I
percent,
think it's if
1,000%.
yeah.
1,000%. Yeah, I could definitely get distracted by going out there, but I try to make the content around it because I do like making
And yeah, your
around it.
content's popping for the times you are on those hikes and things, so it's working in your favor too, you know?
What, now I forgot what I was gonna ask. Totally see, I had a question ready for you about content, but let me check. Let me get it on my nose. No, I don't have them. I
Oh,
forgot it.
yeah, I mean, content, dude. Like, so you're heading into full time. Is that something that's happening?
Yeah, I would love to go full time, and I think that's kind of the avenue I'm gonna go. I've very similar to what you were saying earlier of like I've had these 9 to 5 experiences. I've also had jobs I really liked that were going well, and then they were just like stripped from me
Right.
for different reasons. I had one that I was laid off of, but I was like number one on the sales team, and that was very odd because I was just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, and then I had another one that loved the company, wanted to be promoted, was basically doing the social medias for the company by myself, and my manager had left the company and I was doing it by myself for 4 months and had asked about promotion and pay raises with no avail, falling on deaf ears. So then I just decided, okay, I'm gonna look for other jobs.
Yeah.
And then this most recent one, I was 3 months in, 3.5. I think I just hit 4 months, and they laid me off for restructuring. And so then I'm like, okay. And I love that job because I was working in like sports entertainment. And it
Mhm.
was a great time. But one of those things where you kind of go, okay. And that the first time something like that happened, I kind of was like, maybe I need to go do my own thing. Like maybe I just need to get out there and do my own thing. And then it was like, no, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But then now I kind of look at it and I go, well, am I ever going to be there?
Mhm.
I don't think any time is a good time or bad time. You just got to do it,
Right.
you know? And I will say I'm in a way better mental spot than I was previously. Um, I've talked about this on the podcast. It was a bit of like a storm of things. Sometimes people say things come in threes. I don't know if I believe that, but I will tell you that at that point in my life, I certainly believed it because it was
Right.
like job, end of a 7-year relationship, and we're moving across the country. We have no friends.
I I
So
think it's advantageous to believe it when it's the second thing that's
only
happening.
one more.
Yeah, it's like just one more thing that needs to go wrong, but if you're at 1 and you're saying it happens in threes, you're kinda screwing yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's
No.
like
And
believing that narrative, it's not
to totally be fair, someone told me that after I had gone through these 3 things.
okay, good,
So I
good,
was
good.
like, "Okay, so it's over.
That locks it
Thank
in.
God.
Yeah, the
Thank God.
storm's gone.
The storm is gone."
So, like, yeah, I mean, you don't have to be ready. Like, the thing about it is, like, you don't have to be ready because the second you take your attention away from something that's, like, bogging it, like, for me, I had, like, a, 30-hour week server job, and it might not feel like it's 10 hours under full time, but I was still making full-time money, whatever else, but it still was robbing me from the attention I could apply
Yeah.
every single night that I was there, and I was only there, like, 3 or 4 nights, so it was, like, not that much, but I had a in reality, I had a ton of time, but it was really distracting me from what I wanted to do and how I was showing up in my day to day. Sometimes I'd get out of that work, use a lot of my mental energy, a lot of my like, charisma on these people I was serving, and I couldn't use it in my content or I
Yeah.
couldn't use it with my students and things like that. But I don't know. I had something pop up when you said that, like, you don't have to be ready. It's like, Shelby Sapp.
Yeah.
As much as we don't like to talk about Shelby Sapp sometimes, I think she's obviously killing it. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
um, she had that seminar, and in that seminar, she said something about 2 years ago she started, and she hit 63 million in 2 years.
That's wild.
Like, she wasn't ready. Like, she had a sales job like you. She was crushing it in pest control or something, as far as I'm concerned with the story.
Yeah.
And then was like, yo, I can teach sales to girls. That's her simple idea, and she ran with it.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
made enough money to keep herself going right after that pest control, and then she wasn't ready, but she started making good content. So it's like, it really, like, 63 million is like crazy for a 24-year-old.
That's
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
someone who just said, I'm good, I'm confident, let's do it. I'm ready, you know? So I think it is possible to just say that you're ready and say that it's time, you know?
Terrifying that it does that. I'm like, why would it doesn't know we're recording or something?
Yeah, no.
Um, sorry, sorry, not to interrupt. No, but I totally agree. I mean, you kind of I've talked about this plenty of times as well, and I do believe it. Like when you have that kind of fear about a situation, you're feeling it. That's kind of like that's your indication. Go for it. You're the
Yeah,
reason you're like a little bit nervous about it, and it's probably because you have some weight or value to it,
yeah.
and that's kind of why you need to go get it. Like it, and I also think that that fear is. Let's get like really deep into this and right now, but I think that fear is almost like your higher self, future self, higher self that is like pulling you to cut. Like, hey, this is nagging you because you need to do this to get to the next stage.
Right.
And your lower vibrational self is kind of there, like we could just stay where we are. And
Yeah.
it's very easy to go, I'll just stay where I'm at. But
Yeah.
you gotta fight that and like just go and
It's
do
like
it.
I've been to this level so many times where it's like, okay, hey, like they couldn't, like, your higher self couldn't just keep rewarding you with things, because then if they were trying to level you up and they kept making things happen for you, like the universe, like like they couldn't just bless you with all these things because you'd just be like, oh, I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they got to nudge you in some way. That's just to make you feel anxious or make you feel uncomfortable with something that you're not completely sure of.
Right, right. And again, I think it's because you have weight. You're holding a weight to it that maybe you don't even realize yet. Whatever
Mhm.
it is, like there's some reason, like oh, I feel anxious about this because I care about it
Right.
and I want it to go well. And
You got to kick the door down. That's
gotta
it.
kick the door down. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You literally, yeah. And the higher self is there.
Higher self is there. Yeah,
But yeah, I felt that a lot of times in different ways, like even just jumping on a podcast or jumping on, videos to talk all the time. It's like something that I wasn't comfortable with at first, but it's something that you develop, and it's something I teach people, like get comfortable within who you are and be able to present the ideas and interests that you have so that you can come across as authentic in your content instead of just feeling like, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll make another video, or, it's like, no, you just got to do it now. Like, even if
yeah,
it's 2 a.m., you got to just run it.
yeah. If the idea hits you, you either need to write it down right away or film it right away.
Act on
One
it.
of the two, because it's hard to like, oh, I'll remember that later. You never like no. 9 times out of 10, you're not remembering it.
Yeah.
Very rarely, at least for me.
And that's kind of like, if I'm gonna divert this a little bit, like we were talking about journaling, talking about how I structure my day, but like how I structure my mind when it comes to content, or how I structure it with, like, simplify my thoughts in order for me to get some things done, is that like every single day for a while, like my only three things I needed to get done per day was to film a piece of content, whether that was a piece of content I already made, I could rehash it and figure out how to like make it better, or post a brand new piece of content. Number two was to pick up a paintbrush. Number three was move my body. Three things done. That was my three things I needed to do, and to know that things were going in the right direction.
Mhm.
At the same time, if you're trying to post every day, when you like, a simple little thing that I try to do is be like, okay, I woke up this morning. I got to the next time I put my head on this pillow, a video has to be posted. Like, ooh, that's my little like indication. Is like, okay, now you just have this whole day to like figure something out. Doesn't have to be now.
Right.
Doesn't have to be in 2 hours. It could be right before bed. It could be right now if you want.
Yeah. No, that's a great slogan right there. That's a great idea. I had to have this done by the time I lay back down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about like riding the wave of work? Do you ride that momentum? Like I find myself, we talk about like 9 to 5 things, and this is going to take us back a little bit to when you were working 9 to 5 or at the server job. But I found that when I did have those, because again, like I had to support myself at some point to get started,
Yeah.
and I was doing both and managing both. But I found that if I like went from my 9 to 5, came home, and immediately started working on whatever this content or podcast it was,
Yeah.
I could still ride that momentum of like I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working. But if I came home, laid on the bed, got on my phone,
Mhm.
it's like gone.
Yeah.
Momentum's gone.
Yeah. There's different mindsets and things that you can break yourself out of, and if you break yourself out of that like workday mindset, then you will be in a chill mindset.
Right.
You'll be wanting to hang out and you'll be like the work's done. But if you want to stay in that same reality that you're currently in and you might not like, if you thought about how much you hate your job on the way home
Yeah.
and you're not changing it, then I like to remind myself that if I know that there's a problem, then I'm choosing to keep that
Choosing to
problem.
keep it. Yeah.
Simple. Like if you're not changing anything, you're choosing.
Yeah. Does your 5-4-5 method, is that kind of where you build that momentum at the beginning of the day to then keep carrying it on?
For
You're able
sure.
to look at it.
Yeah, because maybe you do have that period of time where it's like 3 p.m., you're kinda lousy, whatever. You go eat Chipotle or something, then you're even more lousy, and you're like, "Okay, okay, like, I need to recollect." 7 p.m. comes around, you're like, "What did I do so far? Oh, I've only done 2 of the 5 things I need to get done. Alright, well, I think I can get this done in an hour," and, like, you
Yeah.
try to test yourself, see if you can get some of these tasks done as quick as possible. And also knowing what takes the most energy. So if you have something that you know for a fact, say you gotta film a YouTube video, say you gotta film a podcast and that's on your list. Maybe let's not leave that till 10 PM.
Right.
Maybe let's not leave the highest energy tasks to the end. If you know that, like, if you know that your laundry is building up and it's taking energy from you, maybe that's taking more energy than the content itself. But,
Okay.
like, maybe the thing that is, like, in the back of your mind that you needed to get done, maybe it's, like, calling the doctor, or maybe it's something stupid like paying, like, a toll. Something that's keeping a lot of energy built up and pent up, and you always think about it, getting that out first, and then being like, "Okay, now I'm freed up all this clarity to then act on the creative endeavor," you know?
No, I never thought of it like that, but I like that. Almost like giving yourself a clean slate and then just going at it,
Yep,
going at what you need to get done, but like giving yourself that clean slate to then go after things, whether that
yeah.
be small or big. I know that's very interesting. I never thought of it like that, especially with like how you mentioned like certain bills or something could be nagging at you. You don't realize it. I don't know, just something that I never thought of that like in that
Something
situation
that's on
before.
your plate
Yeah.
that you don't really think about, but you're like, "Whoa, if I would've just, like, I don't know, hit the baseboards or something," you know what I mean? Like, maybe that will actually clear my mind up so I can I've posted some of my best content at, like, 2 or 3 AM, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there, like, clear-headed, I've done the things I need to do, I feel accomplished, and then I'm like then I'm speaking from confidence.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, "Okay, it's, like, 12, I have all these different things I've written down for myself," like, if I start doing content right now, maybe I'm just checking a box. It's like, maybe leave the content till the end if you need to. It doesn't matter when you do it, it's just as long as you're getting it done per day and you're building that confidence with yourself every single day.
Dude, you more of a night owl or a morning person?
I like both. I really love to wake up at 5 when I was doing the 5 AM wake up, but
Very fluid.
yeah, I like, I like 2 AM too when no one's around. It's just basically when no one's around.
Yeah. When
So,
can you get that time for you to
mhm,
start or end the day? I
hear my own
understand.
voice talk for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had moments in life where you're trying to like like push that voice to the side? You ever had that occur, and what were the outcomes with that, and why did you switch it to go like I need to hear this guy
Was
inside?
it a positive voice?
I mean, for me, it wasn't. So
Like,
like,
"You suck."
no, it was just like I was pushing away things that were coming up like within, and I don't want to think about that. Like that kind of mentality, like very men of like I just push that away and not think about that. And then it always comes back. I mean, from my experience, it's
Yeah.
you're gonna get away from it.
I usually when it comes to, like, anything emotional or anything that's, like, taunting me, I am pretty open to it. Like, I don't try to push it. I think in, like, that certain sales job or, like, different jobs I've had to, like, really like, maybe construction jobs where I've had, like, felt like shit, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't do it today." And, like, I'm like, "No, no, 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 you can do it today. You have to do it today, there's no other choice." I've had to done that in the past for sure, but
Yeah.
I think recently I've just had such a grip on my day to where I can, like, take those head on and actually listen to what I'm saying and be like, "Okay, you're right. Maybe I should, I don't know, relax for a second
Yeah.
and pick it back up in an hour," you
Yeah.
know?
I think it's very important to listen to your inner monologue and like get through those filters and not let it kind of control your life of like pushing it away and then it comes back and you're having like a down day because you don't want to think about it. Like whatever that is, again, it's taking up space for you to like be creative or go after pursue things you want to. It's your life is going to be substantially easier by you just addressing it, whatever the
Mhm.
problem is or
Yeah,
situation that keeps popping up. But
100%. If you can do it in 2 minutes, just get it done, kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like that kind of model.
yeah, yeah, solid. I was thinking about it because like in my life, like I said, I've had moments where that wasn't something in the case. Like it wasn't something I was doing. It's definitely changed now. Like now I try to like, oh, this is bothering me. Let's journal about this tonight.
Yeah, you seem
Where-
really in tune with that now, or I don't know, I didn't know you before, but
It's taken some time. It
yeah,
took a lot of, I mean, again, like I kind of went drastic with things where I was like, I'm gonna just stop everything I'm doing and really focus on me and building myself back up, and then I'll get back to this content and stuff like that,
yeah,
which has worked well. But I think part of the reason why I had to be so drastic was because I was putting things off for so long. So
yeah.
like the longer you put things off, the more they're gonna hit when you decide to address them.
Yeah, I think that happens to a lot of people as well, like, when they smoke a lot of weed or, like, suppress a lot of
Yeah,
emotions that way. I have had tons of friends where they, like, just smoke every day, and then out of nowhere, they're like, "You know, I'm done smoking." And then, what do you know, all those emotions that they suppress kind of reaches up to them, and then suddenly they're manic. It's like, "Bro, of
yeah,
course you're
yeah.
manic, because you literally have been completely suppressing your emotions, but you can also do that without any substance."
Yeah. You can also do it without any, but yeah, yeah. But then on the flip side, sometimes you take those substances and they're like,
It unleashes
you're
something.
not getting rid of it today.
Well, we're gonna sit you down.
Welcome to the dark tunnel because
Yeah,
we're here. Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. I've experienced, and I always felt weed did that for me too. I was very like it, for me at least. Again, some people not always, but for me, I felt like it always very much suppressed things.
Yeah,
Made
if
me
you're not trying
tired.
to chill,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like a very busy mind, and when I smoke, nothing
Yeah, I'm just
happens.
trying to hang.
Nothing's
Just
happening.
trying to eat some gummies or something.
Yeah. I got nothing going on up there. And I've said that to people too. They're like, what do you think about it? I go, nothing, dude.
I'm just sitting here.
I got nothing. When I'm smoking, if I smoke, it's like we're eating food and we're watching mindless TV or movie.
Yeah,
That's all I got. I got
yeah,
nothing. I got no profound thoughts. I got nothing. I might laugh. I
right,
might have a funny time with friends,
for sure.
but there's no profound like
But
some
when
people
people
do.
start to say you can't get addicted to weed, then I'm just like, "Bro, you can. You can get addicted to every substance possible.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Anything. You can get addicted to filming podcasts."
Yeah.
And
Well, I
you
like
eat
to get
them.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I could take it.
Yeah,
For those who not being diagnosed with the first podcast.
he's an addict, man.
Filming
He'll take 5
podcast
a
edition.
day.
I wish there'd be a lot of content.
It would
Be
be
a lot of guests like that.
You wouldn't even have to worry about content anymore.
God, that'd be way too much.
You'd have to get an editor.
Yes, I would need an editor, which we would love an editor still to this day. Um, Joe, I gotta ask one question before we kind of close and wrap things up here. And what advice would you give to somebody that is wanting to start and grow their social media?
I would ask yourself why first. First and foremost, why you wanna do it in the first place. Because after 3 or 4 months of you trying, if you get that far mentally, you're gonna think yourself is cringe. You're gonna think that people are watching you and judging you. You're gonna feel like you've been put in a group chat multiple times. So if you come in with a strong why, you're gonna be able to propel yourself further and be like, "Okay." For instance, my why initially, because I knew that was gonna happen if I was gonna start posting daily, because I was already posting for 10 years.
Yeah,
I already had those feelings rise all the time.
yeah, I've had this.
And then anytime I was at a party and I'd stop posting, I'd have friends be like, "Hey, brother, like I loved your paintings, I loved your content. Where is it gone?" I'm like, "Got this new job, I got this thing," and like immediately feeling embarrassed and like, dang, like I kind of lost the trust of my own friends right here. It's like kind of weird. And how many times can you really do that before they don't trust you anymore? So it's like I need to lock in on this last one. Let's do this like one every single day. And now I've probably posted 1,300 pieces of short form content since that time where I said like, "Yo, let's do this," and I think just starting with the why and like my why was to empower other creators to create more. And that was how like everyone can put the creative act on the back burner and they can always say like I've just got a long day at work, my week's been horrible. I can paint next week. But like why? Like create more stuff so that you can work your way out of the life that you don't necessarily enjoy.
Right.
Like you can you can hide yourself. You can hide inside that hyperfixation or hide inside of that flow state. So and initially that was my why and it propelled me and my why's changed a lot since then. um but yeah, I would start with just getting your why understood so you don't crumble.
And so you're comfortable with yourself. No,
Yeah,
like, yeah, being your authentic, comfortable self. You know what it is, and
yeah,
therefore you've got that kind of wall up when someone does throw a rock at you, and
yeah.
something bad comes in the comments. You got you. I know what I'm doing here. I'm
Even if
good.
it's your friend or family, if some of your friends like, dude, you're posting a lot, it's like, yeah, the content's not for you. It's like
Yeah,
my mom comments like she's obviously loves all my content, but like if she started hating on it for some reason, yeah, mom, this content isn't for you. You don't post content. It's like
that's hysterical.
it's like so those type of things. Like obviously my mom's like my biggest fan. She likes every single thing, watches all my stories or whatever. But it's like you gotta have those things where you're like, you gotta have your mind right before you start going.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Get your mind right. before you get going, and do things that fuel you.
Yeah.
Do things that fuel you.
Do things that fuel you, because if you're not, then what are we doing this for? You know, what was this whole life for if we're not doing things that fuel us?
Yeah.
We got one
No matter
chance.
how small it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. We're gonna end on that note
Cool.
right there.
I like
Full
that.
circle moment there.
Yeah, I like that.
Joe, thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed this. I mean, I had moments where again I was thinking, you saw I stopped. I
Yeah.
was like, dang, it's making me think now. I really enjoyed that. I love a conversation that goes a little bit deeper, and I very much enjoyed this conversation today.
Yeah,
And
me
thank
too.
you for coming on, and tell the people where they can follow you at and where they can find you, and then we'll also put it in the description. But
Yeah,
give them the shout.
Jdisegno, JDISEGNO on every platform possible. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
It's a
Thanks for coming
pleasure.
on.
Yeah,
It's a
of
pleasure.
course.
Pleasure.
Love it.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Peace out.